we've got Les in here, who's from GeekXP. Now, he needs a little bit of an introduction. GeekXP is a company designed for geeks and by geeks. There was a time when being a geek would get us stuffed into our lockers and wedgied and have our heads dumped into a toilet. But it's apparently right now it's really super popular. The biggest TV shows in the world are kind of geek culture things, and to kind of reflect that, the geeks are starting to come out of the cupboard and start supplying stuff exactly for one another and for themselves. So if you are a geek, this is absolutely for you. Welcome to the studio, one of my heroes, Les.
One of you, Warren. Thank
no, there you go.
That's,
Anybody who's prepared to do some stuff for the geeks, and I mean, you do a lot. You
are very kind, but
right.
Thank you very much.
Let's get an introduction to what exactly GeekXP is.
In a nutshell, GeekXP is wanting to be the engine for the geek community. What you tend to find when you've got geek interests, you'll find other people that you like. They do similar things. You hang out, but sometimes the community tends to be fractured. You don't know what guys on the West Rand are doing. You don't know what Cape Town's doing, etc. What we want to do is be the engine that underpins all of that. You register with GeekXP, tell us your geek interests, and we're geeks as well. We know exactly what it is, so that reflects in our survey that you tell us what you want, you tell us what you like, and we'll send you an email every week letting you know this is what's happening according to your interests in your neck of the woods, and we'll reward you for doing your geek things with geek experience points. Those points can then be traded in for entry into prizes. We're hoping to have that up and running by March, where you can trade your points in to enter into competitions where you can win signed gear like artwork,
right.
Stan Lee signed artwork, comic books, access to events like the Dying Light launch party, and leading up to trips overseas, which is what Travelz is all about.
Right. Okay, so basically, essentially, it's just rewarding you for doing the stuff you like doing anyway.
That's
really.
what we'd like to do, yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, so when you say that you can win prizes and do all that sort of stuff, basically
Correct.
people just have to meet you at the various geek events, the icons and rages and
Correct. For
the
major conventions, we'll have a presence there, so come up, say hello. By the middle of the year, we should have our app up and running, which will allow you to get to a particular destination, like your comic shop, like your weekly gaming events place, and then you check in, and your points will be accrued. So we want to reward you for being the geek that you are and doing the geek stuff that you do. We want to talk to you. Other people want to talk to you, but we'll manicure that process.
Yeah.
Because we know rule 0 of GeekXP is that there is no rage like geek rage. So we're very cognizant of the fact that we don't want to upset anybody. We don't want to spam anybody. We just want to talk to people, help get them access to their stuff. And one of our ultimate goals is the trips overseas. Conventions are something that I've been pretty fortunate to go to. I've been to Comic-Con the last few years, Gen Con in the US as well, conventions in Australia, Babylon 5 conventions, etc. And it's an amazing experience. And we want geeks in South Africa who may not necessarily get the chance to ever do that to understand that we can get them there. And not only can we get you there, if you want to do it on your own, there are companies out there like we partner with a company called Wandering Free. Yeah. Wandering Free organizes tour packages and travel packages, but they have an understanding of the geek culture as well, so they can modify things for geeks.
Right.
You're going to London. Cool. Did you know that just a short trip down to Cardiff, we can get you on the Doctor Who walking tour? Game of Thrones, that gets filmed in Northern Ireland. We can get you there and show you these things. So companies that are open to geek interests, we can start stylizing these things for geeks.
Right.
Get them to do more things and get to experience these things that pretty much always just remains like in the realm of dreaming for most geeks.
Well, I know that Wondering Free's most popular tour, and the one that you actually gave away recently as part of GeekXP is the anime manga tour to Japan.
Yes.
And I think that's probably because like Japan is
sorry.
so...
yeah,
Maz just had
okay? All right. So you can just breathe. It's all right. Just
but obviously Japan it's quite intimidating to go to because it is such a different culture and finding your way around. I mean, I know I had to catch the trains phonetically. The guys at the train station would kind of sound it out for me, and I'd sit waiting for the announcement in the train for which train station to get it. So it can be quite intimidating. So I think the thing is that with packages like this, having everything kind of planned for you and everything kind of performed for your geek experience, for your absolute geek for the thing you want to do is
your
great.
geek dream.
Yeah, because normally you go on a coach tour and you'll see the standard highlights, and that's not really what the community wants to do. So you're targeting these more specifically for your community, right?
There's, as you mentioned, we gave away a trip for two at Rage last year, and it's just taken some time because the winner, Mainun Wu, she's actually a student at the moment, so she had to wait until she could find out what her university schedule was like, so she could know, well, which of the prizes could I pick? Because we had prizes ranging across the entire year, different conventions. She kind of had her heart set on the anime tour. We contacted her last week to let her know that, oh, by the way, on top of all the stuff that you would like to do and we've got planned for you, Universal Studios in Japan has just opened up a new manga park.
Oh, wow.
With an Evangelion section, there's an Attack on Titan section, and that's just opened up. So, by the way, you're already going to Japan because we kind of know your interests. By the way, did you know this is happening? We can adjust your tour to help include that. Yeah, that's
absolutely the kind of stuff.
By geeks for geeks.
Right. That's it. And then, as you say, the conventions as well, because now the conventions particularly, I know what's been blocking a lot of people, geeks, from traveling to the international Comic Cons or what have you, is the ability to get tickets.
Yes.
I know that just knowing that you're going to get in the front door isn't guaranteed. A lot of people kind of show up and then queue outside the front entrance. And
Comic Con's insane. Comic Con, the purchase process to get a ticket for Comic Con is you have to be pre-registered, and then you go into a random allocation. If you get lucky enough to get into the room to purchase tickets, it's an online process. You then have to purchase all 4 days individually. You have the option to buy for up to 5 friends, so it's a frenzy.
Right.
Last year, when I was waiting through that process, an hour and 10 minutes in, and they kept giving you updates every 15 minutes. Friday's now sold out.
Oh.
Preview night's now sold out. Saturday's now sold out. Sunday's almost sold out. They're almost the hottest tickets on the planet to get. So, being a company, it gives us a different leverage to approach these organizations and say, hey, look, we're actually doing this from a competition standpoint.
Right.
So our ultimate goal will be to be able to throw down a competition where we say, we can get you to Comic-Con so you can experience the insanity that is that 4 days.
And what it is essentially, it's all your favorite characters from your favorite TV shows are there doing speeches. The creators of your favorite comic books are there. Directors of your favorite movies are there. Guys who make your favorite games are there talking about what's coming up over the year.
You can do panels with your favorite comic authors. You can get artwork signed. You can get artwork created for you. And there's the whole Hollywood TV series element as well. Hall H, which is the main hall. That's the main ticket to get to because that's where you see the cast from The Big Bang Theory. That's where all the previews of the new Marvel movies are coming out. All the DC movies that are coming out. Hall H is the place to be. But it means sitting in a hall for 12 hours, but you get to see it a day before anybody else does. And in geek culture, that's a lot.
Yeah.
For 24 hours, you are more alpha geek than anybody else.
Particularly good if you're running a blog.
Absolutely,
You can kind of break that information.
Yeah.
But okay, all right. So the first step for people is basically registering with GeekXP. You've got a website and things at the moment. Can people register on that? Is there
geekxp.co.za. Please go and register. The reason we'd like you to do that is very shortly we're actually doing a revamp of the website. So if you want more information about the new calendar functionality that we're introducing, which will be launched during this month, and then the ability to acquire points over the course of your geek history and geek times, attending different conventions, that'll be coming online probably around about March. So by the time we start getting to conventions like Icon and GeekFest this year, and Rage as well, we'll have systems up in place where you can start being rewarded for being a geek, and then maybe get a chance to win some of these competitions where we just want to get you overseas. We want you to have the fun that we've had, and and then you're allowed to brag about it.
I know in university we had this rather ridiculous list that was always ongoing as to what the best things in the world were, and we had ridiculous things on there. But number one, continually and forever, was always free stuff. And I think that's got to be the answer.
Very much so, yeah.
Yeah. So okay, that's largely it. You're on social media, I'm assuming.
We are on social media. You can get us on Facebook, facebook.com/geekxp.co.za, and we are on the Twitter machine at GXPZA. We're currently doing, as of next week, we'll be doing a couple more competitions where we're giving away tickets to attend the Dying Light launch event. It was unfortunately postponed from January, but what this will mean is you get to hang out with the crew that brought the game in. You get to play the game on the consoles, hang out with a whole bunch of people who love zombies just as much as you do. Get food, get drink, the whole bit. It's an exclusive event. We're giving away the tickets. We're helping to coordinate that. So yeah, check us out on Facebook, check us out on Twitter, and give it a shot.
There you are. So that's GeekXP. The only opportunity that I know of for potential free holidays overseas. So, yeah, thank you very much for coming in, Les. It's been amazing.
Warren, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Good. Okay, so that was Les. If you are a geek, if that's the kind of stuff that turns you on, if you think Game of Thrones or Back to the Future or Star Wars or Doctor Who or gaming or anything like that along the lines, you have to absolutely join these guys. So they really are just giving you free stuff, including free holidays, which I am not going to ever complain about.